Well, it's another beautiful day in Hong Kong, Saturday afternoon. The sun is setting, and I've been editing a film on Pisa in Italy, a place I visited a few years back. I actually visited for the first time in 1968 when I was a college student. But I looked at it recently and I thought, what a wonderful city to share with you at this time when I'm unable to travel. So enjoy it.
Arriving in the fabled city of Pisa, we immediately made our way to the Campo dei Miracoli, the field of miracles, and get our first sight of the famous Leaning Tower. First stop is the magnificent cathedral, built between 1068 and 1118. It really is stunning, and when built was the finest in Italy. The Romanesque style of architecture, augmented by the simple patterns of Islam, with intricate marble facades and densely patterned arabesque mosaics. Islamic patterns in a church? How come that happened? The granite Corinthian columns between the nave and the aisle came originally from the Mosque of Palermo in Sicily, captured by the Pisans in 1063. Very nice too. The influence of Islamic architecture, due to Pisan merchants at that time trading with Moorish Spain and North Africa, and being impressed by its beauty, though the Pisan Romanesque style clearly dominates. It is still one of Italy's major monuments. The coffer ceiling of the nave was replaced after the fire of 1595. The present gold-decorated ceiling carries the coat of arms of the Medici, one of the best-known families of Italy. Galileo is believed to have formulated his theory about the movement of a pendulum here as he watched the swinging of the incense lamp that hung from the ceiling of the nave at that time. It has now been replaced by a larger one. The beautiful carved pulpit was made by Giovanni Pisano and is one of the masterworks of medieval sculpture. It is both ornate and elaborate. The upper section has 9 panels of dramatic scenes from the New Testament, carved in white marble. It is indeed an awe-inspiring building. The last time I saw the tower was 1968. I'd boarded a train in Rome and was heading to Paris, then London. As we left Pisa station, there it was. This time, I get to see it for 5 hours instead of 5 seconds. In 2001, after a decade of work to arrest the progressing tilt, the tower reopened to the public, and we took advantage of the opportunity to view it in all its glory, from below, from inside, and yes, from the top. It's 185 feet tall, and though from the outside it appears to have several floors, it's actually the hollow campanile, or bell tower, of the cathedral, which has a staircase which winds up to the top. It weighs 14,500 tons, but is only supported by its walls, made of stone, lime and water, and covered by a thin marble facade. The tower's tilt began even during construction, caused by the ground being softer on the south side. The tilt continued to increase until in 1990 it leaned 5.5 degrees. That's 17 feet off the perpendicular. It literally defied the laws of physics. Professor John Burland, who worked on the restoration, commented, "I think it's miraculous. We couldn't get our computers to make it stand up. It should have fallen over." The problem was there the day construction began in 1173. The site had been an ancient lagoon and not suitable for such a high tower. The lagoon had been created by the rivers Arno and Osser, and the subsoil tended to be soft and wet. The building leaned so much, construction stopped in 1178, and the delay in building lasted 100 years. It turned out that gave the soil time to settle. The building initially tilted 11 inches to the north, but as they resumed building it, it began to tilt the other way. To correct this, the masons made the columns on the south side taller, bending the building a little so that it has a banana shape. In 1278, work stopped again just short of the top floor, and it was 82 years later that the bell chamber was added. Believe it or not, this was perpendicular, not leaning like the rest of the tower, with 2 fewer steps and larger bells on the north side in an attempt to compensate, but this addition upset the stability and caused the tower to resume its leaning. The good news is that the problem is not only fixed, but we can go in and up the 296 steps. Admission to the tower is restricted to 40 people at a time, so after a briefing at the bottom, up we go. There's the cathedral bar down there. As we ascend, a magnificent view unfolds. When we reach the top, we get a bird's eye view of the Duomo and baptistry, and an up-close look at the bells, the small ones and the large ones.
So we're at the top of the Leaning Tower of Pisa, about 300 steps, and beautiful views, and since we started coming up, the sun came out.
The Mediterranean in the distance. At the top, great views over the city. After descending, we have a little time to look around and just enjoy the sight. After all these years, the tower is still beautiful. the flag of Pisa flying from the top, the cathedral getting a facelift, and from some angles we can discern the banana shape. Then suddenly, guess what happened? No! Most tourists get a shot of people holding it up. I thought I'd get a shot of it falling over. After some Italian cuisine, the last shots. A bus ride back to the railway station. Over the Arno River. Now that was a great visit to a great place.